Listen to me carefully. The clock doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care that you're tired. It doesn't care that you had a bad day, a bad childhood, or bad luck. Every second keeps moving forward like a machine with no emotions. While you're negotiating with your comfort, time is already deciding your future. Right now, as you hesitate, someone else is taking the spot you want in life. Here's the brutal truth most people can't handle. Excuses are lies you tell yourself to feel safe. You say, I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow never promised you anything. The clock heard that excuse 1,000 times before and ignored every single one. Winners don't ask for motivation. They move when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable, because that's where the separation happens. You think success is about talent? No, it's about respect for time. Every hour you waste scrolling, complaining, or waiting to feel ready is an hour invested in becoming average. And average is crowded. The clock is ruthless. It rewards discipline and punishes delay. You either control your time or time controls you. And trust me, time is a savage master. Look around. Dreams don't die loudly. They die quietly on couches and beds in just 5 more minutes. That's how potential gets buried, not by failure, but by comfort. The clock is watching while you negotiate with weakness, and it's writing a story about you whether you act or not. You don't need more information. You don't need another video, another quote, another plan. You need action. Relentless daily action. Wake up earlier, work harder, move with urgency. When your mind says stop, that's when the real work starts. That's when the clock finally starts respecting you. Time is ruthless and it doesn't care about your feelings, your plans, or your excuses. Every second that ticks by is a second you will never get back. Most people walk through life thinking they have all the time in the world, as if the clock is some benevolent friend waiting patiently for them to get their act together. Let me tell you something that most people refuse to face. The clock is not your friend. It is a relentless machine that moves with precision, with no mercy, and it doesn't care if you are ready or not. While you hesitate, while you negotiate with your comfort, the world is passing you by. Every opportunity that slips away while you procrastinate is a nail in the coffin of your potential. And the worst part, you will never even notice how much time you have wasted until you are looking back and wondering where it all went. Here's the truth that separates the winners from the mediocre. Respect for time is the ultimate currency of success. You can have all the talent, all the connections, all the motivation in the world, but if you don't respect the one thing that keeps moving forward, no matter what, time, you will get left behind. Every second is an opportunity to grow, to level up, to build something that will make the rest of the world stop and take notice. And every second you waste scrolling through social media, binge watching shows, or making excuses is a second you are handing to someone else, someone hungry or someone smart or someone ruthless who will use it to take the life that could have been yours. The clock doesn't negotiate. It doesn't pause. It doesn't even acknowledge your complaints. It keeps moving. And in that movement, it decides your future. Most people think they can make up for lost time. They think, I'll start tomorrow or I'll catch up next week. That's a lie that almost everyone believes. Tomorrow doesn't care about your plans. Next week doesn't owe you a second. The only time that matters is right now. And if you do not use it, it is gone forever. Winners understand this. They wake up early, they attack the day with precision, and they make every second count because they know that time is not an enemy to negotiate with. It is a weapon to master. Every hour, every minute, every second is a tool. And how you use it determines whether you are a spectator in life or the one controlling the narrative. The harsh reality is that the clock exposes weakness instantly. While you are debating whether you're ready to work, someone else is out there grinding. While you are sleeping in because it's too early, someone else is turning their mornings into power. Time rewards decisiveness and punishes hesitation. It punishes those who wait for inspiration, for motivation, for the perfect conditions. There are no perfect conditions. There is only time and what you do with it. You can cry, complain, and make excuses, but the second you do, the clock moves forward without a second thought. Imagine this. Every day you wake up, you are gifted 86,400 seconds. Every single one of them is a chance to do something extraordinary. But most people treat those seconds as if they are infinite. And then they wonder, why their lives are stuck in mediocrity. Success isn't about luck. Success isn't about wishing for more time. Success is about ruthlessly, consistently, and strategically using the time you already have. It's about understanding that the clock doesn't care about your excuses, your fears, or your doubts. It only cares about what you do. Every second counts. Every decision counts. Every moment is an opportunity to step up, to dominate, to claim what belongs to you. Time is not patient. Time is not fair. Time is a merciless judge that sees all, ignores all, and continues to move forward while the world hesitates. Respect it, honor it, master it. The moment you understand that the clock is a weapon, a measuring tool, and a relentless force you cannot stop, you stop wasting your life on nonsense and start building a legacy. Every second you take seriously is a second that compounds into something powerful, unstoppable, and undeniable. Time waits for no one, and it certainly doesn't care about your excuses. The sooner you act, the sooner the world stops passing you by, and the sooner you become the person you were always meant to be. Excuses are the chains holding you back, and most people don't even realize they are shackled. You wake up every day telling yourself, I can't do this today. I'll start tomorrow, or it's too hard. You convince yourself that your comfort, your fear, or your mood is a valid reason to delay greatness. Let me tell you something most people refuse to admit. Those excuses are lies. Lies you tell yourself so you don't have to face the discomfort of real growth. Every excuse is a surrender disguised as a justification, and the world doesn't wait for people who surrender. While you negotiate with weakness, someone else is turning their pain, their fear, and their limitations into power. Here's the brutal reality. Comfort kills ambition. The second you start making excuses, you step off the battlefield of life and hand over ground to someone more ruthless. Success does not belong to the hesitant, the uncertain, or the lazy. It belongs to those who recognize that discomfort is not the enemy. It is the signal that they are moving in the right direction. When you feel resistance, when your body says stop and your mind screams for ease, that is the exact moment the champions act. That is the moment you separate yourself from the mediocre masses. Excuses are seductive because they feel safe, but safety never built an empire, never created wealth, never commanded respect. The people who dominate life understand one simple principle: action is non-negotiable. You can plan, you can study, you can dream, but none of it matters until you act. Every excuse is a delay, every delay is a loss, and every loss compounds into a life of regret. Think about it. How many times have you said, I'll do it later, only to realize later never came? The clock doesn't care about your reasons, your intentions, or your potential. It only cares about execution and the ones who execute relentlessly and wit. Without apology, they are the ones who rise above, while the rest are left wondering why life is passing them by. Excuses are easy to make because they require zero effort, but they cost everything. They cost your dreams, your confidence, your opportunities, and your legacy. You think the world owes you time? It doesn't. You think the universe is waiting for you to feel ready? It isn't. The harsh truth is that life rewards decisiveness, courage, and relentless action. Every moment you waste rationalizing your inaction is a moment someone else is seizing. Every excuse you make is a victory handed to the competition. And the worst part is you don't even feel it. That's the quiet danger of excuses. They infiltrate your life like a parasite, slowly draining your potential. And by the time you notice, the chance you had is gone. Listen closely. You don't need more motivation, more inspiration, or more guidance. You need to cut the excuses out of your life like a cancer. Discipline is born from action, not intention. Confidence is built from victories, not wishes. Dominance is claimed through persistence, not promises. The moment you start holding yourself accountable for every action, every decision, every hour of your life, you break free from the chains that have been holding you down. Excuses have no power over those who refuse to surrender. No matter how hard the path, no matter how uncomfortable the work, if you want to be a champion, understand this: excuses are not a minor obstacle. They are the enemy. Every time you justify laziness, fear, or hesitation, you are choosing failure over victory. And the clock doesn't forgive those choices. It doesn't pause, it doesn't pity, and it certainly doesn't wait for your excuses to run out. If you want to win, you must act relentlessly, ruthlessly, and without hesitation. You must step into discomfort, confront your weakness, and obliterate every excuse in your path, because the people who dominate life are not the ones with the easiest path. They are the ones who refuse to let excuses dictate their destiny. Excuses are the silent killers of potential, the invisible chains that hold you back from greatness. Every time you say, I can't do it today, I'll start tomorrow, or I'm not ready yet, you are lying to yourself. That voice inside your head that justifies laziness is not your friend. It is your enemy, quietly convincing you that comfort is more important than progress. And here's the hard truth. The world doesn't care about your excuses. The universe doesn't pause because you feel tired or scared. Life moves forward relentlessly, and every second you waste rationalizing your inaction is a second someone else uses to get ahead. While you negotiate with weakness, someone else is sharpening their edge, building their empire, and turning dreams into reality. Excuses are the slow poison that destroys ambition, and most people don't even notice until it's too late. Think about this for a moment. Every time you make an excuse, you are choosing temporary comfort over long-term dominance. You tell yourself that your situation is too hard, your schedule is too packed, or that you aren't ready, but all of these are lies you feed yourself to feel safe. Safety never built wealth. Comfort never earned respect. Laziness never conquered fear. Winners understand this instinctively. The moment life becomes uncomfortable is the moment you must move fastest. The pain, the struggle, the resistance, they are all signals that you are on the right path. Every successful person you admire faced moments when quitting felt easier, when excuses screamed louder, when doing nothing seemed tempting, and yet they pushed through. Excuses were crushed under action, discipline, and an unyielding refusal to settle for mediocrity. Most people think that making excuses is harmless. I'll get to it later, they say. Tomorrow is a better day. But the clock doesn't wait. Tomorrow is a mirage, a trick your mind plays to delay the work that will define your life. Every postponed action is opportunity lost, and lost opportunities compound into regret. Your life doesn't improve by wishing for it to improve. It improves by making deliberate decisions, by moving decisively, by refusing to allow excuses to dictate your trajectory. Winners don't negotiate with their doubts. They act despite them. They understand that excuses are the enemy, disguised as comfort, that threaten to steal their future one lazy moment at a time. Excuses are not just small setbacks. They are the difference between a life of mediocrity and a life of domination. Every second you spend justifying why you can't achieve something, someone else is spending that second building skills, creating opportunities, and claiming victories. Do you want to be the person who remembers what could have been, or the one who took action while others hesitated? Excuses are seductive because they feel safe. They whisper to you that doing nothing is acceptable. They promise comfort at the expense of greatness, but comfort is the graveyard of dreams, and the clock is the silent witness to all your wasted moments. Here's the point. Most people fail to grasp. Action is the cure to excuses. Discipline doesn't come from waiting for motivation. It comes from moving relentlessly when it's hardest. Confidence isn't built by wishing for opportunities. It's forged in the fires of execution. Dominance is not claimed by planning endlessly or rationalizing delays. It is seized by those who act decisively in the face of fear, uncertainty, and discomfort. The minute you stop allowing excuses to control you, you reclaim your power, your time, and your life. You start turning what others call impossible into ordinary reality. Excuses crumble when you refuse to give them power, and suddenly the clock stops being a merciless judge and becomes an ally in your rise. If you want to dominate, understand this. Excuses are not trivial. They are the battlefield where most dreams die. Every time you let your mind rationalize laziness, hesitation, or fear, you give the advantage to someone more ruthless, someone hungrier, someone unwilling to let excuses define their destiny. Success isn't about luck, talent, or timing. It's about refusing to surrender to excuses, no matter how convenient they feel, and acting with relentless precision and urgency. The clock doesn't care about your excuses, and neither does the world. Your life will only respect one thing: action. Every moment you act while others hesitate is a moment you pull ahead. Every time you crush an excuse with determination, you carve your path to dominance, power, and respect. Talent is overrated. Most people believe that success is about being gifted, about having some natural ability that others don't. That's a comforting lie. Talent alone will never make you unstoppable. Talent can open a door, but it will never push you through it. The harsh truth is that action beats talent every single time. You can have all the skills in the world, all the ideas, all the plans, and yet if you don't execute, you are nothing more than potential wasting away. The world doesn't reward potential. It rewards results. It rewards those who take action when it's hardest, when the fear is screaming, when the comfort is begging you to stop. Talent is silent. Action is loud, and only those who act relentlessly make the world take notice. Here's the reality most people can't face. You will never feel ready. Motivation will never strike exactly when you want it. Talent will never be enough to get you to the top. The clock is ticking, and life is not pausing to let you gather more skills, more courage, or more permission. If you wait to feel ready, you are already behind. Winners don't wait for permission. They don't wait for inspiration. They don't wait for the perfect conditions. They act every single day because they know that consistent action is the only thing that separates champions from the masses. While others hesitate, they are executing. While others plan endlessly, they are building. While others dream, they are dominating. Talent alone cannot compete with this kind of relentless execution. The harshest truth is that action compounds. Every step you take, no matter how small, creates momentum. Every decision to push yourself beyond comfort is a deposit into the bank of your future dominance. But most people fail to act because they overestimate talent and underestimate effort. They see someone successful and think they're just gifted. What they don't see is the countless hours of unglamorous, relentless work that built their success. Every hour they pushed themselves when it hurt. Every moment they refused to quit. Every time they acted while others made excuses. That is what made them unstoppable. You want the same result? You must do the same work. You must act when it's uncomfortable, when it's inconvenient, when it's exhausting. Execution is what turns ordinary people into legends. Stop idolizing talent. Stop making excuses for inaction. Stop waiting for life to hand you opportunity. Opportunity doesn't knock. It arrives for those who create it. Talent is just potential energy. Action is kinetic energy. One moves, the other stays still. One changes the world, the other waits for the world to change it. Most people spend their lives stuck in potential. They admire, they dream, they envy, but they don't act. And that is why they remain invisible. You want to stand out? You want to dominate? You want the life everyone else talks about but never achieves? Then you must move relentlessly, daily, without hesitation, without compromise. Every moment you hesitate, the clock is marching forward. Every second you waste doubting yourself is a second someone else is using to take the lead. Talent will not rescue you when the competition is acting, when the pressure is on, when results are demanded. Only your willingness to execute, to push beyond fear, and to work when others quit will set you apart. Champions don't wait to feel motivated. Champions act because they understand the brutal simplicity of life. Action beats talent. Action creates opportunities. Action defines legacies. Talent is nothing without execution, and execution is nothing without urgency. The people you see dominating, the ones who make it look effortless, they are not relying on talent. They are relying on relentless action, discipline, and the refusal to stop until their goals are achieved. Every step they take compounds into unstoppable momentum. Every day they push harder than anyone else. Every hour they invest while others procrastinate. Every moment they refuse to give in to excuses. This is what separates the champions from the average. Talent is the seed, but action is the storm that makes it grow. Without action, talent withers. Without movement, potential dies. And the clock waits for no one, and it rewards those who act while the world hesitates. Comfort is the silent killer of potential, and most people have no idea how much it is holding them back. You think you are resting, recharging, or waiting for the right moment, but the truth is, comfort is a trap disguised as safety. Every moment you stay in your comfort zone, you are quietly surrendering to mediocrity. Dreams don't die loudly. They die quietly, in beds, on couches, scrolling endlessly through distractions, convincing yourself that tomorrow will be easier. The world doesn't care about your comfort. It rewards risk, struggle, and relentless effort. Every second spent clinging to ease is a second the competition is using to leap ahead. While you negotiate with softness, someone else is sharpening their edge, taking action and stealing opportunities that could have been yours. Here's the brutal truth. Growth is uncomfortable. Every person who has achieved anything worth remembering has been uncomfortable constantly. Pain, struggle, fear, hey are not obstacles. They are signals that you are moving in the right direction. The second you feel discomfort, your mind will scream for comfort. It will give you excuses, rationalizations, and reasons to stop. Most people obey those signals, and that is why the majority live ordinary lives. But winners understand that discomfort is a compass pointing to progress. The moment it hurts, the moment it challenges you, the moment it seems impossible, that is the moment you have to double down, push harder, and embrace the grind. Comfort is seductive, but it is the poison that kills potential quietly, steadily, and invisibly. Consider this. Every choice you make in favor of comfort is a missed opportunity. Staying in bed, scrolling endlessly, avoiding hard conversations, or delaying your work might feel safe in the moment, but it is a loss in disguise. The clock doesn't pause for your ease. Time is moving forward whether you are taking risks or hiding in comfort. And every second you waste wrapped in convenience compounds into months and years of unrealized potential. Comfort is a slow drain on ambition. It convinces you that minimal effort is enough, that small incremental steps are sufficient, and that the life you dream of can wait. That lie is deadly because while you wait, someone else is moving, building, learning, and executing. Comfort is not a reward. It is a trap. It creates illusions of safety while quietly eroding ambition. The people who dominate life understand this instinctively. They embrace the discomfort others avoid. They thrive in the chaos, the struggle, and the uncertainty. They push through pain while others quit. They understand that the path to excellence is paved with moments that feel impossible, exhausting, and unfair. And they act anyway, because they know that the rewards of success are not given to the comfortable. They are claimed by the relentless, the disciplined, and the brave. Comfort whispers lies, action shouts victories. Most people fail not because they lack intelligence, skill, or opportunity, but because they choose comfort over courage, ease over effort, and passivity over action. The quiet hours spent avoiding the hard work, convincing yourself that waiting is wise, are the hours when your competition is creating advantage. The second you embrace discomfort, push past fear, and act when it is hardest, you enter a new realm. You move from ordinary to unstoppable. You break the chains of mediocrity, shatter the illusion of safety, and start compounding victories in a way that comfort can never deliver. Listen carefully. Comfort will never challenge you. Comfort will never push you forward. Comfort will never make you stronger, richer, or more respected. It will only make you softer, weaker, and ordinary. The people who rise, the ones who dominate, the ones who leave a legacy are not the ones who cling to ease. They're the ones who embrace discomfort, attack the hard work, and refuse to negotiate with comfort for even a single second. Every moment you step beyond ease, every moment you endure what others avoid, every decision to act despite fear, you're building momentum, resilience, and power that comfort will never give you. Urgency is the secret weapon that separates the mediocre from the unstoppable. Most people live life as if they have unlimited time, walking around with the illusion that they can start tomorrow, next week, or next month. They procrastinate, they hesitate, they wait for permission from the universe, and all the while, life moves forward without mercy. Urgency is not about rushing blindly. It is about acting now, decisively and relentlessly, because every second wasted is an opportunity someone else is seizing. Champions understand that the clock is ruthless, and they refuse to let it dictate their fate. The moment you develop urgency, you stop negotiating with comfort, doubt, or hesitation. You become unstoppable because you respect time more than success. Here's the truth. Most people avoid. Opportunity waits for no one. The longer you delay, the further behind you fall. While you plan, someone else is executing. While you rationalize, someone else is dominating. While you sleep in, someone else is creating advantage. Urgency is not panic. It is focus. It is precision. It is the unrelenting drive to act when others are distracted by excuses. Every second of hesitation is a victory handed to your competition. Every day you wait for motivation is a day wasted, and wasted days compound into wasted months, wasted years, and ultimately wasted potential. Time does not pause and will not forgive your delay. Urgency is the weapon that allows you to take control of your life before it's too late. The people who dominate understand one thing: success favors the relentless. They don't wait for inspiration, they create it. They don't wait for the perfect conditions, they build them. They don't allow fear, fatigue, or discomfort to dictate action. The most successful people act when it's hardest, when the mind screams stop, and when every excuse tempts them to quit. That is the moment urgency becomes their ally. While others are frozen by hesitation, they are building momentum that compounds into dominance. You cannot rely on luck, talent, or timing alone. You must cultivate urgency, because urgency turns intention into action and action into results. Without it, talent and skill are wasted energy. Without it, dreams wither into regrets. Urgency also transforms the way you approach challenges. When you act with urgency, obstacles stop being barriers and become opportunities to prove your power. When you push yourself harder than anyone else, you discover reserves of strength, focus, and creativity that ordinary people never reach. Urgency sharpens the mind, trains the body, and hardens the spirit. Every decision to act immediately, every refusal to delay, every step you take with intensity compounds into momentum that grows exponentially. The world rewards decisiveness and punishes delay, and the sooner you understand this, the sooner you leave the herd behind. Most people live their lives waiting for permission. They wait for signals, for luck, for comfort, and for conditions that will never exist. Urgency eliminates waiting. It forces you to take control, to dominate your schedule, and to prioritize action over hesitation. It turns potential energy into kinetic energy. It takes dreams off the shelf and transforms them into reality. The clock is relentless, but urgency allows you to move faster than time, to stay ahead of the curve, and to claim victories while others are still negotiating with excuses. If you want to dominate life, you must act like your time is limited. Because it is. Every second you waste waiting is a second someone else is using to take the life you dream of. Urgency is not an option. It is the engine that drives success. It is the difference between mediocrity and mastery, between dreaming and achieving, between watching life pass by and seizing it with both hands. Every moment you act with urgency compounds into momentum, power, and results that others cannot touch. Those who hesitate are left behind, and those who move with relentless speed become unstoppable, respected, and dominant. Decide right now who you want to be, because the clock doesn't negotiate. It doesn't care about your excuses, your intentions, or your dreams. It only records what you do, not what you plan, not what you think, and certainly not what you hope for. Every moment you hesitate, every second you waste rationalizing why someone else is moving, acting, and claiming the life you dream of. The harsh reality is that life doesn't wait. It doesn't care about your fears, your comfort, or your hesitation. It only rewards action. You can sit there debating, overthinking, or wishing, but time keeps marching forward, and it will leave you behind faster than you can imagine. Key choice is simple. You either dominate your time, your life, and your future, or time dominates you. Here's the truth. Most people don't want to face. Most failures aren't caused by lack of talent, resources, or intelligence. They are caused by indecision. People hesitate, rationalize, and negotiate with weakness until it's too late. Every dream delayed, every opportunity ignored, every plan postponed is a victory given to someone else who refuses to wait. Winners understand this instinctively. They make decisions quickly, they act decisively, and they refuse to let fear dictate their life. Hesitation is the silent thief of success, and the longer you let it control you, the further you drift from your destiny. Every second of indecision compounds, building a mountain of regrets, and the clock doesn't care about your feelings. Most people live in a state of constant negotiation with themselves, waiting for the perfect conditions, the perfect motivation, or the perfect timing. But there is no perfect time. There is only now. And the moment you understand that the clock is indifferent to excuses, fear, and hesitation, you begin to act with clarity, urgency, and purpose. Dominance comes from action, not intention. Action turns dreams into reality, ideas into results, and potential into power. If you want to win, you must stop negotiating with your weakness and start demanding results from yourself. The clock will not wait, and it certainly will not forgive those who hesitate. Every decision you make today compounds into your future. Every second you spend acting decisively, relentlessly, and strategically propels you closer to the life you want. Every second you spend hesitating or rationalizing leaves you further behind. This is the brutal arithmetic of life. Time is indifferent, results are absolute, and choices are permanent. Champions understand this, and they make the hard decisions while the rest of the world debates. They understand that the price of indecision is immense, and they refuse to pay it. They seize control of their actions, and in doing so, they dominate the narrative of their own life. Understand this clearly. The clock doesn't care about the effort you plan to give tomorrow, the goals you hope to achieve someday, or the excuses you tell yourself to feel safe. It only cares about what you do right now. Every second you waste is a gift to your competition. Every moment you hesitate is a step closer to mediocrity. If you want to rise above, you must act immediately, decisively, and without compromise. You must treat every second as a weapon, every moment as an opportunity, and every decision as a chance to claim victory. The people who dominate life are not the ones who have more time. They are the ones who respect the time they have, who refuse to let hesitation slow them down, and who act with relentless urgency. They understand that every day, every hour, and every second counts, and they exploit every single one of them while others negotiate with weakness. Dominance is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of choice. The clock doesn't forgive. The world doesn't forgive. Only action, decisiveness, and relentless execution turn potential into power and dreams into reality. Every second you decide to act, you declare to the world that you refuse to be ordinary, that you refuse to be left behind, and that you are claiming control over your life, your future, and your legacy. So decide right now. Are you the person who makes excuses or the person who makes moves? Because the clock doesn't care who you wanted to be. It only records what you did. Time is passing. The question is simple. When the clock looks back at your life, will it see excuses or dominance?